what's up? You know who this be. It be me, the queer Cancerian. And I got somebody here with me today. And we're going to talk about some stuff, emotional healing, self-love. So you know that I did the podcast / YouTube of emotional healing, growing and moving forward. And we're going to get into this right now.
I go by Simply V on YouTube and on Instagram. I made a new page, Simply V, and I'm excited about being here with my dear friend. And
let's cut it out.
Oh, well, what do you?
The queer Cancerian.
Oh, so, right. They don't know your name at all.
Nah.
Okay.
So let's do 3, 2, 1.
What's up, guys? It's me, your girl, Simply V, and I go by that name on YouTube and on Instagram. I'm excited about being here with the queer Cancerian, who is my dear friend, and is someone that I love, so you guys are really in for a treat today.
Yeah. Hey, that's her. When you hear it in the beginning, that's her with that.
Ow.
That's her. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, go ahead and do that. So that's what I'm talking about. So a little background. This is I love her. She's the ace boom coon. You know, I have friends before, but this one stuck around. I guess because she's a Cancer as well.
I am.
So you know, I tell people Cancer's the most underrated sign, but that's how I feel about that. That's neither here nor there. So we're gonna speak about again emotional healing with self-love, and you know how we do on this topic. It's all about mental health. It's mental wealth itself. We make sure that, or I make sure that whatever we talk about is going to be surrounded about love, peace, prosperity, and all that. You know me. I already got the sage burning, the incense, the candles. I got the dogs put up, and we about to get into this. So today is, let me see what is today. It's Saturday. So today is the waxing moon in Aquarius, which means it's time for everybody to just chillax and just release, stay in the house, do some work on yourself, and that what had me to get on this topic today about mental health for self. One moment. Mental health for self. So you always know what you need to do. Always comment, like, and subscribe, because that's what get me going and get me out there. All right. You got anything you want to say before we dive into it?
Well, you know I'm ready to get into it.
Okay, get into it. Let's do it. Hey. So, what is your whole thing about self-love and emotional? I gotta get my notes. Okay, I ain't got no damn dementia.
Oh yeah, I be telling everybody. I say y'all got dementia, and my daddy say I ain't got no damn dementia.
Oh my God. Emotional healing. Okay, emotional healing with self-love. So I know now we live in a society where, to me, it seems like there's less and less people trying to get together, get to be in a relationship with each other, and they're more working on themselves. People not wanting to get married and have babies. They mainly want to work on themselves, because I truly believe that our generation grew up in a toxic environment, and we're just now learning that as we come to age. So what is your viewpoint and everything about self-love and emotional healing.
Well, that's deep. And self-love is something that a lot of people don't grow up even knowing that that's a thing. You don't know you're supposed to love yourself. Everything about what you're doing is to please and to serve others. When you were in school, like you know, you're taught to get the good grades and to, you know, be quiet and you can't even have a personality, you know. And when you get older, it's about, you know, like for some that go to college, so you're continuing like this grind mode, right? And a lot of people forget about themselves. Like we lose our identity in these things. So we lose our identity in our degrees. We lose our identities in our job titles. We lose our identity in a financial wealth. And those things are just like benefits of life, and they are not our true character. You know, if the world ended, who will we be without those things? You know, so I feel like over time, I had to learn what self-love was before I can even heal. So it's like that healing process. We don't even know that we need healing because we're focusing on these things. We're focusing on chasing the bag and we're focusing on, is our bills being paid on time? We are young, experience, you know, just being thrown into the world. So you start when you learn that you need healing, it's because in other areas of your life you'll start seeing symptoms. Being late to work, not being dependable, you know, acting out in anger or rage, not being consistent, things like that. So then, you know, people will maybe say, oh, you're this, or, you know, they try to diagnose you with all these things, but it's like you never knew that you need to love yourself. So that's when you start loving on yourself, then that's when you truly discover, you know, that you need healing.
And what I found out these past couple of months is that if you do have self-love for yourself, then that's when you know how you want to be treated, how you want to be respected, and you won't allow and you want to treat you a certain way. There was a YouTube short that I've seen, and you all know that I talk about it a lot, where this lady was like, you know me, I'm the queer Cancerian, so I speak about relationships in general, but you know what I'm looking for. So she was talking about mainly how having a man, don't let a man define you, and how sometimes as women we can have a man define us, no gender or anything specific there, but we can have a man define us.
Or that person we're in a relationship with, right. Like we base our identity around them, and that's how you lose yourself. And then when you lose that relationship, you're like, you don't know what to do. You lost your friends. You lost everything that you love to do. Like, why do I have to, in order to love you, why do I have to lose everything about myself? Especially the things that are good.
Right.
You know, now I can see, like, we all have things that we need to work on. And then when you come together with somebody, you gotta have boundaries. You gotta, you gotta balance things out. But it becomes unhealthy when it's like you're focused, everything is becoming about that person, and you're no longer you.
Right. I can say though, the last couple of days there's a lot of self-discovery that I've been on, and you guys seem by, I think, every single day for being involved with a person, because sometimes a person can be brought into your life and they can just destroy you, which is horrible because people do that. However, it's what you take from out of that relationship once they leave or once you separate. If you choose to learn from that situation, that's when I believe that healing comes. Because sometimes people, when we're with someone, they show us what's in us.
Yes.
Mainly that's what it is. It's a reflection of the relationship that we're in. And sometimes when we were them, they show something that's in them that they probably don't like, or they run away. I had a topic I was talking about ghosting, and how I was telling people that if we start looking at ghosting as a positive effect and a negative, we would be in a much healthier environment, because we would be in a much healthier environment because basically what a person does who ghosts is a person who cannot communicate their feelings, and they rather just shut down, go and hide, and they pop up if they want to or not. But the main thing is because that individual cannot communicate in a way that they should as a general human.
Now, speaking of ghosting, what's so interesting is that you know me, and me and her being around each other in different settings, like whether it's work, whether it's church, whether it's our YouTube page, we're friends. So and it's so weird. So I just got ghosted, y'all. I just got ghosted, and it was so weird. So this particular person, I've been listening to over time, and I'm just like, how a person tries to talk you into a relationship, and me being me, I'm like, you don't sound like you're ready for a relationship, and that's okay. Like we're good where we're at. Like I haven't put no pressure. I haven't rushed because I'm still taking it all in myself. Like we get used to our routine and being in our own space, and it's so hard to just let other people like in and be comfortable in your space. Like that's one thing like that I struggle with. Like I'm a very introverted person that has like a burst of like extroverted energy when I'm around people, but I'm really like an in my shell person. So it was so hard for me to just be like, it's okay for you to be in my space and me not to just want to fix and nitpick and move and you know. And it's like, so we developed, it seemed like a good method of communication. Like we've been communicating consistently, and then all of a sudden you just ghost me. So I'm like, I'm not taking it personal. I'm not taking it personal because you know what? That's a reflection of who you are as a person. It has nothing to do with me. Because a lot of times people do things where we waste the time of others, right? Like we're waiting on that big thing, and so during the meantime we're doing X, Y, and Z to try to fill these voids. Well, you really need to fill those voids with self-love, with working on yourself, with learning new things, with those type of things. But instead we just try to jump person to person to try to numb ourselves from the things that we really need to be working on.
And that is when I have found that out, is what I understand now is, and how I see things is, it's not done to you, it's done for you. So when I think of that, and especially if you know that everything that you do is with pure and good intention, and of course if you're an overthinker, like I say, and you're the type of person where you like, well dang, what was it that I did? I always encourage people to accept those feelings, but know that in the end, silence is an answer. Silence is communication too. And if that person can't convey and speak to you as an adult, then you know just where they're at, because now, and that goes back into the whole trauma and where they're at and things. And like I say, I am so happy that I went through what I did with the person that I went with, because it was a lot that she didn't know that she showed me, that she helped me to open up to where I am now, being very outspoken, being very open, and accepting myself as far as my sexuality, my family, and everything else. Hey, I say some people come into your life to teach you something, and that saying where I used to have the feeling where people always come into my life and then I'll be the one that they use to teach them better so they can be better with someone else. I take that as a blessing too, because that lets me know that I'm, deep inside I'm a healer. But once again, once you have that self-love and you understand that who I am, you ain't gonna talk to me that way. And as I always say, we have to understand red flags from yellow flags and flaming red flags. Sometimes we can be in a relationship with someone that may do the same thing that someone else did, but they may not be conscious of it. And we can speak to that person and say, hey, you did this. I ain't like how I feel. It's kind of making me feel a certain way. And they can conversate with you, but there's some that, if you say it and their response, like I always say, if they jumping down your throat, time to cut that off.
And it's so crazy because I'm such a non-confrontational person. People have conversations with me because I'm going to ask you questions. And they might be uncomfortable questions, and then people, and I had to break her. I had to break to her, and I've seen her. Man, it's crazy, like the growth. You know what I mean? Because I forced her to communicate with me as her friend. Cause she'll get mad at me, because she's feels something that I don't understand, and instead of communicating with me, she's to be like, "I'm done with you." And then the next thing I know, I'm blocked. I'm like, "No, you're not about to do this to me. Like, you about to tell me what's going on." And then she'll tell me what happened, and then I'm like, "Girl, ain't nobody did nothing to you." So, you know, I'm like, I hear her, you know, and I see her because she used to be so quiet, like she didn't even talk. So, you know, I had to drag her out of her shell and flip her over and say, "Get out of this! Get out of your shell right now, right now!"
And you know what, and most of that came from just not being able to be myself and things.
I made her be herself. I said, "Be yourself. I don't care if you want to be blue, red, green. I don't care. You're my friend. You can be blue, red, green, whatever color you want to be, whatever sexuality you want to be. I don't care. I still love you. You ain't gotta be fake."
Right.
Period.
And again, like I said, it's funny when I hear that because everybody say the same thing, and that's also actually comforting too if you're dealing with someone who is.
Because I'm gonna pull up. You mess with my friend. Tell y'all now.
She said, "Pull up, Webby. Let's go."
I'm ready. Don't mess with my friend. Do not mess with her because she is such a good person. And it's some people in the world, they're demons. You know, like I know I don't. You know, some of you guys that's listening to this or viewing this, y'all might not believe. And you know the spirits. There's good spirits and there's evil spirits, and there's different types of spirits. You got your succubus, you got your incubus. You have these people that want to leech, that leech onto you for whatever reason. Like they see you working on yourself, and then here come the package that you like. Man, I asked God to this. It came like this. You know, I have questions, but you have to protect. You do have to protect yourself, and over time. Like for example, like the person that just ghosted me, I've built up skills. You know, like before I would have responded emotionally, cussing this person out, going to their job today, for example, in their vehicle, like, you know, because I spent like all this money that I just lost. You know what? But it's okay because guess what? Money, you can always get money back. Right. You know, the only thing that you can't get back is time.
And the main thing that I say too is when I think about, because when we get into a spat. I would say to myself, if this gonna be worth it, like a couple of weeks from now, like a couple of days, and majority of the time it's not. It could just be like, you know what, forget it. It could be me being stubborn, or it could be her saying something. Regardless of what it is,
I'm gonna push your buttons.
Regardless of what it is, at the end of the day, the matter should be: is this something that's worth to be worried about? Is this something that's like,
is it serious?
Yeah,
because those are things that we need to work on. So we never work. If you never work on the root issues, right? They come up in other areas. Like the smallest thing will make you explode. Right. You know, and it's just when you grow and when you really love yourself, you choose peace. Like people can say, "Oh, money rules the world," and you know it does make you comfortable, but peace is something that you can't buy.
Exactly. And that's what I had learned a lot too, especially with the majority of the friends that I have, is they know me. I would get upset and I get all in my head space, which I'm working on now by the grace of God. And you know, meditation has been working wonders, and just really getting into myself, because like I say, most of the time we don't know ourselves. And my thing is, if you can't be with yourself or you don't like yourself or love yourself, how can you love somebody else? Okay. And so if I'm upset about something, if I can't go to my friend or my loved one or anyone and say, "Hey, you know, this is what happened and this is how I felt," and we can't talk about it, then that lets me know enough about that person. And then I can't really be around. Because with her, I could be like, "Man, you know, I'm sorry for what it was that I did. I blew up and this and that," and we'll just talk. The next thing you know, we'll have a whole conversation, and then it's like, you know, it's we good, we Gucci.
Yeah, she forced me to be more patient. Cause me, like my natural myself, my old self, I'm like, baby, I'm through with this. It'd be 8 years. Like, you was that mad? Like, it wasn't that I was that mad. It's just, it's easy for me to run away from problems. Like when I see things rising up and I start seeing the signs, I'm like, okay, so you don't work and you went and bought a Range Rover and you my friend. The next thing I know, that friend, man, you bought a Range Rover, I might need to give you a couple dollars every month.
It's not mapping.
The math is not mapping. So I see stuff like that, and I'm like, I don't want to be friends no more because I can see the stress. I can see the stress, and I don't want that energy trapped because I learned over that energy really transfers.
Energy does transfer.
I used to have this friend that I used to hang out with, and she was always into math. And me being a ride or die, okay, I'm gonna pull up like where it needs to be pulled up at. I can't pull up every weekend because this is how you get felonies and things like this. Like you gotta stay out of the smoke. We all get in our situations like where we like need a friend to come right then and there, but then the person is calling you and they're telling you about their problems, and it's like every single day, like they're so unhappy and they choose to stay in something toxic, and you're listening to that. And I have to learn with self-love, when you love yourself, you have to know where to end that at. Right. Because when you love yourself, you know how to you learn how to communicate effectively with people. But if that person hasn't realized how to love themselves, they're just gonna
exactly.
Right you, and you just gotta what, I'm gonna pray for you, I'm gonna pray for y'all. Like, don't get so involved in like every single last detail of what's going on. You could be supportive without with having boundaries. So that's a part of self-love, is also establishing boundaries with others.
That is true, and I'm big on energy. I'm so big on energy, and I noticed the past couple of days that I've been, and I say secluded, and it's not normally recluse.
I said, where you been?
It's not anything bad.
Her hair grew in since the last time I've seen her.
It's not even that bad. Like it wasn't anything that I was doing. I wasn't with anybody. I just was focusing on school, focusing on my podcast, focusing on my, focusing on my YouTube, and getting myself together. Because with this last, it's weird because you know how I feel about relationships and energy, and then karmic stuff, and wanting to make yourself whole.
I want them demons on me, child.
Those karmic relationships be the worst. But the thing, like I can say again, the thing that I've really learned from this is self-discovery and knowing who I am and knowing that I'm a bad. And once you can accept that and learn that, it's just like anything I can take on now. And if someone is having negative energy, I'm like, yo, what's up? Because usually I used to have issues with my family, but even that can even help you now. I'm able to say, hey, that's what you feel, because they hear about the podcast. I was talking to my sister and stuff about my crystals and sage, and they had their own things to say about that with being in the church and all. But if you really look at it, everything stems from something. So the end of the day is what you believe and who your God is, and what your God has is the final say. And for me, as long as I'm not doing anything that's going to cause me immediate danger or harm, or I'm not somewhere and you got chicken heads and stuff, and
coming over there.
If you were like, girl, hold on a second, let me. Before you come in, I got to throw this blood on you.
Like, be crazy, man. My cousin one time, Lord forgive me. This wasn't me. This was them acting crazy. So my cousins was beefing. They sisters. And so one time, I was helping my cousin clean her room, right? So we back in the day, like you have to flip the mattress over, like when you clean your room. So I come in there. I'm like, I need help with my mattress. So we flip the mattress. It's a voodoo doll under there.
Oh.
So I said, hold on, man. She telling me that her sister did. I said, no. I said, why would she do this? Like, this is amazing. So I asked my cousin, which is her sister, I said, you put a voodoo doll? Oh yeah, I've been doing voodoo for years. And I'm just like, why are you crazy? What did she do to deserve to get voodoo put on her? Like, y'all just doing spells, nothing. A spell it ain't even work. Like, like just acting crazy.
Yeah, and when it comes to stuff like that, it's all about being educated. Because
Yeah, because you can mess with that stuff and
the people consider the practitioners, the people that really do hoodoo and voodoo and all that other stuff. I mean, I truly believe that there's stuff that works. The power of the mind is one hell of a thing. Me personally, I like to keep myself balanced and equal. But like when it comes, I like to be educated about it. I like to learn about it and see what it is.
Because I'm gonna do all the. Because if you know me, you know. I'm gonna do my facts.
Take them out, Jesus.
Man, I'm gonna. Everybody gonna get mad at me, but I'm like, well, I did the research and I really did. Because according to so and so, to the study that they did, because I'm gonna find the facts. One thing about me, I'm a historian. I'm gonna find the facts. If I don't know now, I will get back to you. Then she gonna be like, bruh, man, ain't nobody trying to go through all that today.
I'll be like, oh my God, dude, I'm just asking the question.
Well, the question that you asked, I had to hear some references. Because then because then they start getting mad. Well, it says here, this is what it says, and it means. They mad. They like, don't even talk to her.
I just want some shrimp tacos. Did you know the iodine in the shrimp? And I'm like,
it's killing blacks all around the world.
But at the end of the day, it's all about research. It's all about knowing yourself. It's all about having fun. And especially in the black culture and the black society. I only can speak for
this is my cousin right here calling with the voodoo doll.
Look, intentions, okay?
She probably like, don't be telling people about that.
I'm telling you, the power of the power of intention, and that's what I'm big on, is power of intention. And you know about me with the 12 universal laws, which when I found out about them, I was like, people doing some stuff and they breaking them left and right. I didn't know about that.
Well, a lot of people break into the spiritual world illegally, though. Mm-hmm. It's a way to do things.
And that's what this lady was saying too. I was talking to her. She was like, there's ways that you do, because what she said on the topic of, you can do something and want it quick, fast, and in a hurry, but that quick, fast, and in a hurry is not going to be substantial. It's going to last, versus something that you're going to have to wait for. Because there's things that, like I would say, universe, God, whoever you believe in, spiritually, can bring to you, and they can say, okay, if you want it right now, if you want it tomorrow, it's not ready, but you gonna get, it's just like taking Jiffy cornbread mix out there, and they still got little lumps in the middle.
Taking it out early, baby. You need to be recooked. That's what I told her. I remember one time we was arguing. I said, you know what, your mother, okay, take her back. Because I say COVID ain't take the right people. Just people left here, they should have been gone. Rebake, take her back, put her back in there, rebake her. Something ain't right. Something ain't right.
And that's what that's what I'm learning about it. But my main thing is setting my intentions on things that are pure and of love. And sometimes that's hard, especially when you're in this new space and people used to you being a certain way.
Yeah, they'll bring that up too.
They'll look at you like, something ain't right. Because I'm not reacting the way that you want me to.
Oh, you want the smoke.
Yeah.
I chose peace today.
Matter of fact, my job had asked me to do a different schedule. It was a weird schedule, right? Yeah. And when I looked at it, I started to panic. I was like, I felt the anxiety building up. And I said, you know what? I was afraid to say no in fear of losing my job.
Right.
Which is something that we all go through. Even when it's people calling on the phone.
About to lose your job. Say it with me now.
You were about to lose your job. But no, there's people that call in for workers' comp when they get injured, and they're afraid to do so because they think they're going to lose their job. But I'm like, your job got that for you to do so. So if they do fire you, you can go to court.
Right.
And what I did as far as my job, I told the lady, you know what, I'm sorry, I can't do that according to my medical condition. I have a schedule that's working for me, point blank, period. Because at the end of the day, they need you. They're asking you for that. And if they want to say, well, we're going to have to let you go, because, hey, that's all right. I'll collect unemployment. And
sometimes God will cut that tie because they know you won't walk away. Mm-hmm. Like, look how long I was at my job. Yeah. I was at my job for 11 years. And I was like getting raises, promotions. I helped open clinics, all kind of stuff. And one day they came. I said, man, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. But it put me in a way better position. Like, I'm so happy now. I don't have that stress that I used to have on me and things like that. Like, God has really opened doors you know, I used to be in situations where I was really struggling, and this job and this, you know, opportunity changed my life. So, you know, even what we're doing, like this is gonna open so many doors. It's gonna change our life forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then I'm gonna be acting like I don't know those people.
I tell people all the time.
I don't know those people.
I tell people that I say this all the time with intention. I say I don't have any bad feelings against anyone, but I truly believe, and this is for anybody and everybody that's listening, is that those people that was looking down on you, that didn't see your worth, that
they didn't see that potential in you.
They're gonna see you in a way that they wish they didn't see you, so where they're gonna have to recognize you and do nothing but be like,
Beyonce said. I ain't gonna say it here. You know the song.
And like I said, the dude that was with Beyonce that was treating her like whatever.
I know he gotta be sick
in that thing, and she was in love with this dude. And then she was like, and then they end up with Jay-Z. Not saying he a bad guy.
He ugly.
Not saying he a bad guy, but hey.
He can rap good, but I can't imagine him swinging something me. That's a whole nother.
And then the dude that she used to date, you see him now, he balding and everything. He just looked like he. We all. But I really believe karma's a bitch, and it will hit you.
Stressed every time and she ain't went away yet, so it's like you can keep seeing her. You know what I'm saying?
You like every morning you get up,
right?
Like,
she took over, and it's just like you always see her. She's there. She's always there.
Yeah, that's one of those things, and that's why. And I also believe for someone to, which is what I'm getting, is that when it comes to closure, and people don't give it to you. And there's a lot of people doing that. That's what goes on, you know, with the ghost, and that goes hand in hand. We have to understand that sometimes we're not going to get that closure, and even if we got the closure, it's not going to be the closure that we want.
Man, like the person that ghosted me, man, I'm just like, it's just so weird and confusing. Like, we was doing good. Yeah. Like, if you ain't want to do something, you should have just said, like, hey, like, you know, you just tell me. Right. But people want to control the narrative. Right. You know what I mean? And the person wants me to respond. Because what was the reason that you did what you did?
What was the reason?
What was the reason? And they want you to respond. They want you to see, oh, they really like me. Because I'm done with you now, baby. Yeah. You got one time.
When the cancer is done, I'm telling you.
Listen.
They done.
I'm dead serious. I'm done with you. I'm done with you because I do not play. Ask my family.
Well, this is what me.
Like she crazy.
I'll go through A, B, C, and D.
I ain't talking to them in 20 years.
Through A, B, C, and D before I fully stop messing with you. And I can see you in the street.
I get the A now. Because you know what? You end up wasting your time and energy.
Right.
You know how you just like, it even talks about like being your virtue being poured back into you, right? Because when you're a good person, because it's a difference between being kind and being nice.
I'll be the doormat, yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you a genuine kind person, kind people don't expect anything back. You know, but the least you could do is be respectful. You know what I mean? So when people just blatantly disrespect you by ghosting or by being like abusive, you know, whether it's financially or physically or emotionally and stuff like that. What's the real reason? This is because they don't have respect and love for themselves. But when you love yourself, that's when you gotta know where to draw the line.
They're an empty shell of a person, and I have to say they better strap on their boots because karma's gonna kick them in the butt.
Give them a spiritual backhand.
Okay, kick them in the butt. They gonna for real be on this for some reason. They're gonna just be driving down the road.
They gonna, you know, because they always. Those same people, they wanna.
They will gravitate back to you because the main thing is, kid you not, if you was genuinely nice to a person with pure intentions, they will never forget that.
Never forget.
And that's something that they have in the back of their mind, which is normally the time when I came to understand is that person will understand that I can't match this person. They up here, their energy is up here, and I'm down here. Their vibrations is up here, and I'm down here. And you can make that choice to meet them there. Or you can be like, you know what, I'm a do a disservice.
I choose to try to balance it out, you know, because I just say, okay, what am I going to gain from this? You know, this person, you entertaining anger, because I'm a person to where I'm like the person that everybody calls. I'm the person that people know that they can depend on me, and it's like I felt a little bit of anxiety, not because of I was hurt, but because it just bothered me. That
you want to say hi, guys.
Hey, baby, I'm the baby. That's some baby. Dog break. Woo, woo. Yeah. Go Peanut, it's your birthday. Go Peanut, it's your birthday. Hey.
That's my baby.
I love him, man. Like he's like, y'all left me out. I didn't invite to the party.
Yeah, going over there.
Yeah, but what's the point of like, I felt a little bit of that anxiety, and it was because I was just kind of like that anger.
Right.
And I remember, when people look at you physically, I don't know how well this camera is, representing or whatever. When people look at you physically, they think and look at you as a certain way, right? Like, oh, the person got a big butt, they must be a this or that. Or listen, I'm a gangster on the inside, okay? And so
real G,
for real. So it's like when people do stuff to me, it triggers me to want to
break there.
Yes, and to get like that revenge, and a little inkling in me, like it reverted back. I remember this one time. Okay, I had just gave my life to the Lord. Okay, and it was these was young people, and they had just started coming to the church. So they had asked me, one of the guys, the youth, they in the youth ministry. Okay. The youth ministry. I don't give off pedophile, do I? So I think the way that I looked, the girl maybe thought I was young, like them. I get a man, I give him a ride, right? And I'm like, mind you, I'm far away from my house. When I get him a ride, I'm like 20, 30 minutes away, so I'm like, I need to be back. I came back outside. I was missing a window to my vehicle. Okay? I was missing a window to my vehicle. Now, mind you, it was night. So all I thought is that I was missing a vehicle, missing a window. I went to the girl parents and said, y'all finna. I came outside in the morning to look at my vehicle, and my car was speeding.
Oh.
Brand new.
Y'all might have to get some bail money.
So I said, I want my money. So now
I want my money.
I want my money. I had to that right there made me rededicate my life to God. Because I was going to do something to them. For real. I went to her mama house every day. I went to the grandma house every day. They kept telling me like, we going to pay you. Those people never pay me. They never pay me. I never got my money. I ended up getting a new car, so I let it go. They see me, so it was so funny. So that girl that she in my car, she ended up having a baby with one of my cousins. This was years later. So they see me at the baby shower, right? And they was all scared. I'm thinking I'm not even that same person no more. I don't act like that no more. But they knew that I wanted to smoke back then. I was not playing. I was coming over there by myself. I'm talking. Hey, I hate to have to do something to your grandma. You know what I'm saying? They probably was like, she belongs in jail. But I was so serious. I was coming over there. I was getting off that job. I was driving straight over there every day. Listen, yeah, I was driving straight over there. So it was so funny when they see me at the baby shower, and they was all scared, and my cousin coming over there to talk to me. I'm like, man,
cuz you cool, you straight.
Right. I'm just like, hold on, you know me, my family never seen that side of me, because I don't react like them to that. But I was serious about this. But okay, imagine going to work I didn't even like my job. I hated it. Okay,
Hated it.
I stayed there for 11 years. Hated it, but at this time I had just started. Okay, around this time. So I hate this place. I wake up and I go there every day, and then I'll go there.
Wake up
I go there to pay for this. Okay.
Wow.
And then you come and tear it up for what? What was the reason?
What was the reason?
I've never seen them in church again after that. It's what kind of ministry these people run? The pastor had nothing to do with that. Okay. I was on my own mission.
I get it, okay.
Right. They probably called him I remember one time, look, I got into it with somebody, right? And they gonna send the pastor screenshots. They sent the pastor screenshots man, look he cannot save you. The only thing he can do is preach your eulogy. Y'all better leave me alone.
You know what's best for him, okay?
Right.
You know what's
right.
Best
You better pray for them.
Well,
right. And you said, he's like, don't even worry about it. We know you're crazy.
Like,
that's why we allowed you to be here.
We all gonna get together in a circle and pray.
But you know, I changed so much, like, because it takes a lot to be angry.
It does.
That's
a lot of energy.
And I had to heal from that. Like when people think like, oh, you must be healing from a man or this or that.
Right.
It'd be like people that do stuff to you, like family, people that take advantage of you, manipulate you, and ain't always like a romantic thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then when a person, because it say in the Bible, isn't it Corinthians, where it talks about how like sex is like the only sin that you perform with your body.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, don't quote me, but it is in there because I just read it the other day. It was highlighted in the Bible app. Okay, so it talks about that. And so when you with somebody and y'all intimate, like you could be intimate with or without sex, like you're in close relations, you know, and then this person plays you. It's like. They had, you know how much negative energy it takes to be like that?
Yeah, it does.
So it's kind of like, do I want to even...
Because with that, you have that feeling, and then if you have underlying trauma again, that's just that on top of that. So what I've learned is mainly the first emotion that you feel is always going to be hurt. We always show our secondary emotion, which is going to be anger. But pain and hurt is always the first emotion. So... what I've learned is to embrace that.
You have to.
I embraced the whole fact about what went down, regardless if it was good or bad, and then I sent out, you know what, I wish that person the best blessings and that they give what they need to get. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to get myself together. And when that person comes and I manifest into my life, that's it.
Now think about all the people that's not healed and the people that's not working on themselves. Right? I won't say that they didn't work on themselves. At that moment, they wasn't working on themselves. They was in a real bad place. Turn on True TV. Turn on Lifetime TV. Turn on Snap. You know, these channels. You can watch this for days and don't see a rerun. It's the point that I'm making. So it's people out there that were not healed at the time. And killed people.
You forgot to pick up the McDonald's French fries, and that was it.
Yeah, and they killed these people. And like I said, you can watch these shows for days without seeing a rerun. Okay? Go to the website, any state that you live in, and type in DOC of your state, and look and see all the people that was unhealed that's in jail.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and even with, like I gotta say with the last relationship, and even with the relationships I've been in, again, I thank them because I knew that when they walk away, regardless on how they treated you, they're gonna remember that stuff that you know. That's why they always, hey, how you doing? What's going on? I just was, seeing how you was doing. No. You know that I'm a good and genuine person.
Those are the worst. Like, this is go away. And it's kind of like, I feel like those people that do that, like, they get with people that are not their preference. Because the people that's their preference, they gonna break their back to them. They gonna, and it's just like, stop, like, learn how to be by yourself.
I say this: like who like you, not who you like. Yeah. Like someone that you don't even got to worry about doing anything for, because I'm talking about you don't have to worry, because if a person if a person is really interested in you, it's not gonna be a shadow of a doubt about it.
It's not exactly. So it's like those people that be doing all this weird ghosting stuff. Like those are the people that you don't end up marrying a person that ghosts you a whole bunch of times. Like,
the best way, like I said it, because I have it on the not podcast. I have it on my YouTube. I did one earlier today, yesterday, because I worked last night. And the main thing that it boils down to is that underlying issue. That person can't communicate because you either struck something in them that they can't communicate with. But at the end of the day, it's like, do I want to be in a relationship with somebody that can't communicate? And that also should help you to see how good of a person that you are, because you're growing, you're developing, and they're not. And yeah, like I said, I said it's gonna hurt, but taking all that, how you feel, what it made you feel, examine that, and then say to yourself, you'll see that person in a whole different light, and you'll be like, well, I was getting them flags a long time ago. Because regardless of what anybody thinks, there are flags that we, as people, human beings, would just look over because it's all right.
I be telling people, I said that's interesting. You said what? Or like when I watch people how they interact with their mom too, like if they still alive, you know, mm-hmm. They're getting old now. They be like, yeah, my mother's dead. I'm like, damn, I'm getting old. But yeah, watch how they interact, because you'll end up with a covert narcissist.
That's why watch their actions. They can talk all they want, and
because some people are looking for you to take care of them.
Exactly. Codependent, codependent relationships. Yeah, I can. The main thing is you want to, and sometimes you gotta watch out because my auntie says you're always going to be introduced to a person's representative. Yeah. So you want to watch and see how they act, because they'll keep it up, and they can keep it up for a long time. But what I know and what my pastor told me is that you can only fake for so long.
That's true.
And it's going to slowly start creeping out because
it's exhausting.
But
some people listen. But see, those are the people that usually ghost you. Mm. So it's like they'll be fake, like say a month or two, they'll be consistent. Boom, they're gone. You'll be right on the edge of forgetting about them, and boom, they come back, and it's like, you know, because they can't keep it up. So you know they have. It's just like when you watch the Tinder Swindler, and what was the girl that was on by Discovering or Finding Anna, or something like Anna, that. Those people, like, these stories might seem like this doesn't happen a lot, and it does. It's like it seems like all I do is run into like these people, and then I end up like, you know, I try to pray, because like for me personally, right, I can meet a person, right, and it'll be like obviously they be physically attracted to something about me, or you know, whatever. But I say sometimes people are putting your life, and it's a lot of attractive humans on this earth. It don't mean we gotta have sex with them all. Right. Doesn't mean we have to. You know what I mean? Like sometimes these people are putting in our life for us to help them, right. and you're misunderstanding that, right? Vice versa, you're misunderstanding the energy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes we can hurt ourselves by doing that.
Yep, and that's what I learned. That's what I learned. I've learned the heart is a house full. But yeah. Okay, guys, so we talked about that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because my mama called me too, so I gotta see what she's saying. I got a feeling that she's talking about that she made some food.
Yeah, it's a crackhead outside, and they down the road here. They was outside holding up a sign. Maybe this sign the wind is not playing the game. It's getting blown away out there. So I don't know how they was out there started this fire out there, because it's hot outside, but at the same time it's real windy. And they outside trying to cook something out there. Like you selling food for $5.
Selling plates for the church.
You know what I'm saying?
The women's got to go on this retreat.
Yeah.
But yo, again, this be me, the Queer Cancerian, here with Simply V. And you can check out her YouTube. And she's on TikTok too. She got TikTok. I have one too. Let me see what else is there that I can say. And that's about it though. So, you know, as me, I post when I can post. And with all that being said, you guys take care of yourself. If no one told you I love you, you love you, we love you.
I might love you a little bit. I'm just joking. I love y'all. I love
y'all. But yeah, we love you, and remember, take care of yourself because you are your biggest asset. All right. Holla.